Okay, good evening and welcome to the Town Board Work Session and Special Meeting for March 21st, 2023. Please join me and rise for the Pledge of Allegiance.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you.
We're going to do the special meeting first.
Yes.
Okay. Councilmember Meyer,
Present.
Councilmember Manicchio.
Here.
Councilmember Weiss,
Here.
Supervisor Feldman.
Present.
Okay. We have our supervisor and town board announcements.
You're gonna do that first, or you're gonna? No. Okay. Anyway, all right. Well, today's election day in the village of Briarcliff Manor, and we wish all of the candidates the best of luck in their pursuits. The AARP will be having a tax aid at the Birdars Theater until April 3rd. Please call ahead at 914-810-3384 to make an appointment. This Thursday, the Elks Club will be having an organ groove. They will be featuring Doug Monroe. Bethany Arts Community welcomes its second annual Young Artist Residency. They will be taking application from emerging artists 21 to 30 years old. For more information, please go to their website, bethanyarts.org. The holy month of Ramadan will begin tomorrow, March 22nd, and we are wishing all who celebrate a blessed Ramadan. On March 30th, from 12:30 to 4, the Youth Bureau will be holding a summer youth employment program. Please reach out to the Ossining Recreation Center and they will direct you to the information on how to access that. Okay, Neighbors Link will be offering free immigrant legal help. Please call ahead at 914-527-5994. The Ossining Public Library will be featuring the M&M Theater production of Insignificant in honor of Women's History Month on March 23rd at 7 p.m. in the Birdars Theater. And OHS will be presenting their play, How to Succeed in Business Without Really Trying. Join them March 23rd, 24th, and March 25th. The play is free, admission and open to all, but donations are appreciated. And lastly, join the Mike Risco Workshop Showcase on March 29th at 7 p.m. at Maya Rivera Restaurant. Okay.
We're going to go on to our board resolution, appointment of assessor's office assessor. Resolved that the town board of the town of Ossining appoints Michael J. Fouassier, Armonk, New York, to the position of assessor at an annual salary of $150,000 effective April 10th, 2023.
Amended to add the 3 weeks vacation.
Okay.
Do I have a motion?
So moved.
All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Welcome to the town of Ossining. Absolutely.
I don't want to take up too much of your time, but council members, council Supervisor Feldman, thank you so much for this opportunity. I really look forward to working with all of you. And I hope I certainly don't let you folks down. All right. Again, thank you for the opportunity. I think it's going to be a great match. So.
You know, we've been looking for a while, but I really think it's going to be worth the wait. I think you're going to fit in very well here. So welcome.
Thank you kindly. Appreciate it. And thanks for your time tonight.
Thank you.
Thank you. Of course. Thank you.
Okay.
Okay.
Continue. Should we adjourn first,
Yeah,
Christie?
we have to adjourn to session
Okay, motion to adjourn the special meeting to
to the work session.
all in favor?
Aye.
Okay. Motion to open the work session.
So moved.
All right, so I think we're going to start with Submerged New York so that she doesn't have to stay here for an entire roads conversation. That did not. So Submerged New York is a statewide pilot flood risk awareness and outreach effort that aims to assist local communities in communicating their flood risk creatively through visual markers and public art. And I'm going to turn it over to Rewa. Did I say that right? Uh,
Yep, that's right. Thank you.
to just give us a overview of what the program is and so the other board members know.
Okay, thank you so much. I'm going to share my screen. Okay, can everybody see my screen?
Yes. No.
Oops.
There you go. Yes.
Okay, great. I'm Reba. I'm a research and outreach specialist at the New York State Water Resources Institute at Cornell University. And I'm going to be talking about Summers, New York that Supervisor Feldman just introduced. So Summers, New York is a project that the New York State Water Resources Institute is doing in partnership with New York Sea Grant and the Hudson River Estuary Program to promote public art as a means to communicate flood risk in communities. The simplest example of the sort of project that can be developed as a part of this is the FEMA high water mark, which I'm sure you all are familiar with, which is basically a simple signage that indicates like high water levels for either a 100-year or 500-year flood, combined with like either a flood map or other instructions on like what the community can do to sort of mitigate their risk. But this is the simplest example. There are endless possibilities in terms of what else can be developed and how we can sort of be more creative in reaching the public and communicating flood risk. And that is not limited to all of the examples that I have on the screen here, like stormwater parks, sculptures, community engaged murals, performances, or even temporary installations or events. The process that we are imagining for this project is to select 3 pilot communities in New York State, and Ossining is one of our pilots. Then to sort of conduct a needs assessment to understand the community's flood outreach needs. After that, develop a design brief that summarizes the findings of the needs assessment, and then find an artist to sort of respond to the community's needs and come up with a creative project to sort of do flood awareness and outreach, and simultaneously conduct community engagement activities. The artist will then develop a conceptual design to which we would appreciate community feedback and then sort of work with the community to implement the design. We conducted the needs assessment in October last year, and some of you were probably present there. So the focus group met at the Boat and Canoe Club in Ossining and sort of spoke about flooding in Ossining, identified potential sites, and did this activity where they were led through like prompts on the sort of requirements they would have for a flood awareness and outreach project to sort of begin conceptualizing what would be a good fit for the community. We identified potential sites for an installation or an art project or a mural, which is all sort of now compiled into a document that we are calling the design brief. It is a 4-page document, and I have linked it on these slides, and I'll work with someone to have the slides distributed to all of you after the presentation. But basically, you can go look at the brief, leave your comments there, and sort of also look at the map and let me know if there are other sites or potential places that you think an outreach project or an art installation could be a good fit at. And the different kinds of sites that we discussed were either like the worst affected neighborhoods that were seeing repetitive flooding, sites with opportunity that were integrated with like new developments, or other sites where other activities are happening that could be a good fit for also integrating messaging around flooding. So currently, we have conducted the needs assessment. We have developed the design brief, and we are in this stage where we are looking for an artist or designer to respond to the brief. And we are also looking to conduct wider community engagement and outreach activities to sort of give more direction to the artist group in terms of what would be a good fit. How we are doing both of these things is we are partnering with the Bethany Arts Council and Arts Westchester to reach artists and sort of set up a selection process in partnership with them. And obviously, everybody in the room is invited to be a part of this. We are also partnering with a student group at Cornell to come up with a good public engagement strategy and a digital campaign that can accompany whatever physical installation the artist group designs. To conduct community engagement and outreach activities, we are partnering with the town to set up the Build Your Own Project activity at the town booth for Earth Day, and hopefully we'll have people do it in person then. And we've also set up an online version of the activity to reach people who can't participate in person. So to do the activity online, this is the link. You can either scan it or go into the link by clicking on the link provided on the slide. And basically what it does is provides prompts that you answer. So like one of the prompts is what primary medium is best for the flood awareness marker. And then you basically choose what you think the best fit is and sort of put a post-it on there. I don't know how much time I have, but that's why I'm not going to show the activity to you, but I'm happy to answer questions if you have any. So to sort of summarize everything, we are currently preparing to reach out to and select artists who can respond to the design brief and develop conceptual designs. And we would appreciate help in spreading the word or reaching people. It would be great if whoever's on this meeting can read and leave comments on the design brief so that your voice is heard. If you could participate in the online Build Your Own Project activity, that could be very helpful to us and whoever the artist is that develops this. Come see us at the Town of Ossining booth during during the Earth Day event on April 22nd. And we'd appreciate your involvement in selecting the artist. And eventually after September 30th, when we are expecting to receive the initial design concept, in getting feedback on it and sort of thinking about next steps. We've also started identifying additional funding opportunities to implement the project. The funding that we have right now is to pay artists to develop the initial concept, but there's many ways to sort of leverage existing and additional funding to actually implement a project in the community and sort of make this whole thing a reality. I think those are my slides. I'm going to stop sharing now and happy to answer any questions.
Okay, would you be able to get us a link that we can put onto our Facebook page and into our supervisors update?
Yes,
That out to the
happy
community?
to.
Great. So I know you're going to be coming to Earth Day and sharing, if it's a small amount, if you're not taking up too much room, you can share a booth. If you're just a little bigger than that, if you have a lot of design boards, we're going to ask you to take a booth next to us.
Okay, I don't think it's too much space. We have around 5 posters, and it could all fit on like one table, like the length that you have, the table that you have in front of you. So I'm not sure how big the booth is, but
Right.
happy to discuss in like eventually.
Yeah, we'll discuss it, but we're looking forward to having you come. We have a lot of artists in our community, and I think that, one of the places that I would like to see flood risk expressed, preferably in a nice artistic way, is where people park their cars and go away during storms for the train. I think that the train station kind of having a, hey, by the way, if there's a storm surge coming, you may not want to leave your car here kind of a thing. Would be nice, or, and, around some of the boat clubs and restaurants. So, or just an awareness that, this is something that happens in our area. So I'm interested to see what our local artists, I will help you find and identify local artists. I'm interested to see what our local artists come up with. We have a very creative bunch, and I'm hoping a lot of them take up this task.
Yeah, thank you so much. I'll send the slides in a follow-up email, and maybe it'll be helpful for everybody to have them for their records because it has all the links for everything I spoke about.
I just have a quick question. Yeah. So in the website I was looking on, and right now it's on my phone and I opened it up. If people were to comment in Spanish, would there be somebody in your office who could translate it, or is there like a translation website that we could also put in. We have a large Hispanic community here, and we're really trying to create equity amongst the different communities, and having access, to post in their own native language would be super helpful to have everybody participate.
Yeah, we could definitely provide Spanish translations. I'm happy to take that feedback and also create like a parallel board online that is in Spanish for people to participate. But if people want to comment in Spanish, we definitely have access to translation services that we can employ.
Thank you so much.
Everybody good? We're willing to share our booth?
Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you so much.
Thank
And
you
thanks
so
for
much
having
for
me
coming.
today.
Okay. Next up, discussion about the state roads in our area. So tonight we're going to be talking about the condition of our state roads and what we can do as a board and as a community to advocate for their repair. We all know that Route 9, 9A, 133, and 134 all have serious challenges. Some areas are downright dangerous, damaging to our vehicles, and I'm pretty sure I left a kidney on one of the potholes on Route 9. Yeah, that was me. Our board, along with the Village of Ossining, Village of Briarcliff, Assemblywoman Levenberg's office, Pete Harkham's office, Senator Pete Harkham's office, have all been reaching out to the DOT about the condition of the roads. But the reality is they are underfunded and understaffed in our region, and yelling at them might get a few potholes filled, but really doesn't solve the larger issue. They just don't have the budget or the manpower to handle the amount of repairs required to make the roads in Region 8 safe and drivable. The good news for our area, other things we need to look at include 134. That seems to be the main east-west truck route, which is tearing up the road at a faster pace than otherwise would happen, and a much faster pace than some of the other east-west routes that have the weight limits. In conversations with the DOT about putting restrictions on weight limits, we would not be allowed to put a restrictive weight limit because there would be no reasonable route for trucks to go east-west in our area, and they need to keep the trucking open, especially for the garbage trucks. With the garbage truck plant up in Peekskill, our community, primarily 9A, but including 134 and Route 9, take the majority of truck traffic heading to the plant. Having so many heavy trucks on our roads is very damaging. Some communities try to mitigate this by having the trucks use only the right lane, but that isn't something we can do because we have the low bridges and trucks frequently need to be in the left lane. If we tell them to stay in the right lane, that's just going to end badly. One of the things we can do to improve the condition of our roads, or at least the look of our roads, would be Councilman Minicchio's idea to ask for a law requiring that the trucks be covered and that garbage not be allowed to fly off of them onto our highways. Anyway, the good news for our area is that this Monday they are having a scoping session about Route 9A to look at what will be included of the study on how to improve Route 9A and bring it up to today's standards for the amount of traffic that it handles. This study was made possible by the advocacy and continuous badgering by Mayor Steve Vasio and Briarcliff, along with all of the other municipal offices and officials. The Briarcliff stretch of a 9A alone averages about 120 accidents a year. And it's a very small stretch, and that's about 1 every 3 days. And that's not even talking about the accidents that happen in the town of Ossining areas, which are the Chappaqua Road and 134 intersections. We are very glad to be doing this first step in getting it fixed. The Village of Ossining has also been working on a road diet as a traffic calming measure to make the village more safely walkable and bikeable. And it's my hope that because our community is doing the surveying, scoping, and engineering work now, that we have a better shot at getting some of the infrastructure dollars that the state has coming. But the reality is that our region is severely underfunded, and without advocating for our needs, we may once again be left without. So what I'm hoping to accomplish tonight is to have a board discussion and to develop a letter and platform that we can, along with our state representatives, use to petition Albany for the funding for repairs and improvements that we so desperately need. And then share it with the other communities in Region 8 and, really advocate similarly to way that the schools advocated for their foundation aid and really make our needs known. So,
So my first thought on that is the same thing the schools did, which is an equity issue, right? So as you mentioned, we do bear the brunt of a lot of heavy truck traffic, which really destroys the road. So I think that's one angle which is unique to our municipality and something we should put in some sort of letter.
Yep, I agree. I guess this is a great first step. I know Region 8 is very big. I just looked at the map. And I would just, gather any information that the state would need for us to help, justify our reason why we need more funding here in our most traveled roads here in Westchester. So, especially in the town of Ossining, our stretch is pretty tough. So I would, this is a great first step, and I'm happy to supply any information or things that we need for the state to help them gather their, their decision making.
I would just say that I would like for all of the municipal officials in town of Ossining, village of Ossining, and village of Briarcliff, all, to come together and have this cohesive message. I also want to mention about the garbage trucks that the Westchester County Department of Environmental Facilities, they are the ones that oversee the county 18-wheelers that we see going to the burn plant. And the Westchester County Solid Waste Commission, they oversee all of the other garbage and home improvement construction contractors. So I know that I have contacts with both of those agencies, and they would definitely assist us in even trying to ascertain how many trucks, the traffic on our roads, because I happen to know that they do conduct surveys every now and then, both of those agencies. I think that this has been an issue for a while. I, as Liz knows, lost a tire myself on 9A a couple weeks ago.
she was not happy.
I was not happy. This has been an outcry from the constituents for quite a long time. I also would like to mention that there is a Hudson Valley representative of the governor's office. I don't know who that individual is in this moment in time. They've changed a couple of times, but I would like to contact that person because what we're appealing to DOT, but to me, the final appeal needs to be to the governor's office to fund DOT even more so, and also to earmark the money to our area. And so I'd like to also, besides trying to contact DOT, I really would like to contact this Hudson Valley rep for the governor.
This is clearly a growing problem. The trend for more traffic and heavier traffic has been ongoing since we moved into the community 4 decades ago. We live off 134, and there used to be signs that gave the maximum weight for trucks.
I remember.
And a neighbor swears he saw truckers take them down. So they're not even there anymore. And in the mornings when we want to leave and get on 134 and go to 9A, we can't for 20 to 30 minutes because the traffic is incredible. So the roads aren't going to be able to keep up with the wear and tear. And 9A, we all know, has got the same challenges. And it's up to us to do something about it. And I don't think it'll happen overnight. It's going to be a long haul.
Well, if the truckers took the signs down, hey, let's look into, see if there still is a law in the books and they didn't take that law away from us. Other things that in conversations with the DOT and some of the workers and some of the other people who are in the field, the Region 8 has lost about half their staff. They have about half the staff they did a decade ago. For assorted reasons, cutbacks in funding, but also unavailability to finding a good workforce. I think they said that they finally are raising the pay for DOT workers, if you want to be one, and engineers, so that, they don't even have enough engineers and workers to get the work done should they. So they really, really do need funding. Another thing that Mayor Vecchio had pointed out is that as cars have accidents, and the infrastructure needs to be replaced and the person's insurance pays the state to do the repair, it goes into the general fund. A very, very small portion of it goes back to Region 8, our region, or to whatever region, to fix, to fix that infrastructure. And apparently we have more infrastructure than any other region. We have more miles than any other region. And I think that that could be a low hanging fruit of something that we asked for, that any monies coming from an insurance company having to do with replacing lost infrastructure during accident should go, 100% of it should go back to the region to actually replace the infrastructure and not take away from the paving abilities or the repair abilities, for repair budget, for the rest of the roads. So I think that's a low hanging fruit that we could do. As well as, working on, let's see if we can get those garbage trucks covered, because with this kind of a small work crew, they really just are not finding the time to clean the highways, of all the garbage that is their responsibility as well.
I just want to mention the 2 county agencies that I mentioned before. They actually, if anyone sees a truck that's uncovered or there's garbage hanging out of it, those 2 agencies should be notified. So again, it's Environmental Facilities is the county agency that if you see the 18-wheelers that go up to the burn plant, that's who you should contact. And any private carter or home improvement contractor, if you see any of them with an uncovered trailer, they should contact Solid Waste Commission. The other thing I was going to mention is an appeal to the public, actually. Believe it or not, anyone that regularly uses the Waze app, DOT, there's some way I've heard that when you use the Waze app and utilize the reporting system to show that there's a pothole, that information is actually either reported or collected by DOT. So I just want to appeal to anyone listening and all of us, that if when you're using the Waze app, report a pothole anytime you see one, because that information is
If you're the passenger.
safety first. But I happen to have, you're right. I happen to have been told quite a few months ago that they actually collect that information and use that. And then the other thing I was just going to mention for anyone that's not used the Waze app, you can report potholes at 1-800-POTHOLE, which is 1-800-768-4653. And that is collected also by DOT.
And they do actually look at it. I
Yeah.
mean, they don't respond quickly,
Yeah.
but we'll give them the benefit of the doubt that they try. So I think that, our board is going to try to put together a letter covering these things and getting it up to the state. Doing it during the budget season before the budget is passed is probably even more advantageous than just doing it on a regular time. So they're working on the budget now. So if we can encourage them to direct a little more money down to this area, for roads and facilities, that would be great. Not only will we be working on getting our colleagues in government to join us, but I hope that any community members that would also like to help would also advocate for our area.
Sounds good.
Okay. Any other comments? No? All right, well. That was pretty, well, we all know it needs to happen. Anyway, thank you for coming to our work session tonight, and I hope you have a good evening. If you are celebrating Ramadan, I wish you a blessed Ramadan and have a good night. Our next board meeting will be on the 28th, and it will be a legislative session. Thank you and good night.